Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yep, what's good, original crew, man? We're back today, man. We're back with another Mr. Ballen visual today. Oh, gotta change that. Today, title is You Can't Feed the Trolls, but You Can Hunt Them. What you think about that?
I don't even know.
You can't feed the trolls,
Let's just see
but you can hunt them.
we got. But you
sound like, you know what I'm saying, internet trolls. You know? I'll just say it. I don't know. Hey, man, with that being said, before we get into it, make sure y'all check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals.
Lock it in with a thumbs up.
But, hey, man, let's hop into it, y'all. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get it.
Today's story is about a group of internet gamers who played together for years. But one day, in their online world, the line between reality and fantasy suddenly blurred, and nobody could tell what was real and what was fake, until it was too late. But before we get into that story, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place, because that's all we do, and we upload once a week. So if that's of interest to you, please adjust the like button's power seats in their car to a very uncomfortable position, and then rip out the fuse. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. Okay, let's get into today's story. At 3:30 p.m. on July 27th, 2019, a 22-year-old college student named Nicole logged onto her gaming computer in her bedroom in North Carolina. Nicole had spent the morning and the early part of the afternoon studying, but now she could finally kick back and relax and play her favorite video game, an online multiplayer combat game called Perfect World, where people battled each other as characters inspired by Chinese mythology. Perfect World was a pretty niche game, so not a whole lot of people played it or even knew about it. But Nicole loved it, and she played it basically every day for the past few years, was totally hooked on it, and in playing it, she had met about a dozen other people from all over the world who also were obsessed with this game. And together, they had formed a virtual community, and they used a messaging app called Discord to communicate with each other outside of the game. So, on this particular day, after Nicole loaded up Perfect World, she also opened up her Discord chat, and she saw already that several of her friends were online, and they were all talking on the general chat inside of their server. And so Nicole began perusing the messages, and she saw the general theme of the messages being passed was about one of the other users on their server, somebody who went by the username Menas. So as far as everyone knew on this Discord server, Menas, they didn't know his real name, was a college student, and he was basically known to be a huge troll, which meant he said and did really offensive things, in particular on this Discord server, just to get people's reactions.
Told you, internet troll.
Because of his trolling behavior, he had actually been previously kicked out of the server and also kicked out of the game Perfect World, like the game they're all connected on this Discord server through. He had been booted from both of those platforms in the past, but in previous occasions when that happened, Menas would plead his case and say he's not going to do it anymore, he's going to behave, and eventually the moderators would just let him back in. And so currently, Menas was back on the Discord server, and he was back to his trolling ways. But as Nicole scanned through the general chat and went back and actually saw what Menas had been saying that day, that basically had stirred up everybody else on the server to say, look, he's back to his trolling ways, when she went back and actually saw what Menas was saying, Nicole couldn't help but feel like today's trolling just felt different. Menas was talking about this apparently brilliant 4-step plan he had that was going to completely revolutionize his life and basically set him up for big success in his life going forward. However, this plan he was talking about, this 4-step plan, was not only totally outrageous, but just seemed impossible. Like what he was saying he was going to do just didn't seem possible even by Menas's standards. Like, within his trolling standards, this was a bridge too far. Like, this isn't even trolling, this is just weird, what you're proposing. And so, basically, the chatter on the Discord server this day that Nicole was seeing was how nobody believed this 4-step plan was a real thing. Like, this is just classic Menas trolling. And Nicole, too, she also did not believe this plan was serious. She did not think for a second Menas was going to do this. And so she just kind of rolled her eyes, ignored Menas, minimized the Discord server, and just enjoyed playing the game, Perfect World. And after a while, after, a couple of battles that she won and a couple of battles that she lost in this game, she paused for a second and noticed there was a whole bunch of new notifications on their Discord server. And so because Nicole was already taking a break from the game, she opened up the Discord server to see what was going on. And right away she saw the main topic of discussion was once again Menas and his 4-step plan, but specifically, Menas had just sent a picture through the Discord server that apparently represented completing step 1 of this 4-step plan. He basically said, look, I did it. I've done 1. I'm on to step 2 now. And everybody's looking at this picture thinking, wait a minute, he's actually doing this? This can't be real. And Nicole, when she looked at this picture, she too thought, like, no way, this is not possible. He did not do this. And in fact, her first thought was, okay, maybe this image was, created by AI or something, or, maybe he pulled this image off a website somewhere and is pretending it's authentic, but it can't possibly be something he actually took a picture of. He couldn't have done this. And so pretty quickly, Nicole, despite seeing this image, she agreed with the consensus that Menas is still just trolling us. This picture is not proof that he's really doing this 4-step plan. And so Nicole went back to playing Perfect World, and about an hour later, she noticed there were all sorts of new notifications on her Discord server. So once again, she stopped her game, she opened up the Discord server, and once again, the entire chat was dominated about Menas, because Menas had sent a second picture, apparently representing him completing the second step of his big 4-step plan. And once again, everyone's saying there's no way, he's trolling us, this can't be real. And Nicole, she looked at the image itself, and she too thought this has got to be trolling. But now, she wasn't just filled with pure disbelief. She wasn't able to just completely discard what was happening here, because part of her was thinking, like, how is Menas getting these hyper-specific images that really are tethered to this exact plan he's laid out? Like, how does he have these images? Where are they coming from? Now, this was back in 2019, and certainly AI technology existed, but not the way it does now, where, the average user can literally, in seconds, create hyper-specific images using AI. In 2019, that really wasn't available to most people, and so really the only way Menas could potentially have these images, at least in Nicole's mind, was he had to have pulled them off some website somewhere and basically pretended they were images that he took. And so Nicole decided she was actually going to take the 2 images he had sent and reverse image search them to try to figure out where they came from, find the website, where he's pulling them from, because clearly these pictures are not authentic. There's no way Menas actually took these photos. But when Nicole reverse image searched both images, nothing came up. Now, Nicole thought, okay, that does seem to suggest these are authentic pictures he really did take, which maybe means he's actually doing this plan, even though that seemed totally preposterous. Or she thought maybe, these images have been pulled from such an obscure website somewhere that I don't have access to, finding them in a reverse image search, that maybe that's what it is. And so at this point, Nicole told herself, you know what, there's got to be a reasonable explanation for this, but I'll tell you this, it can't be that Menas is actually following through on this plan. It's not possible. And so once again, she minimized the Discord server and got back into the game. But pretty quickly, Nicole just stopped playing the game because her mind was totally fixated on whatever was going on with Menas. And so she opened up the Discord server again, and she saw still everybody in the chat was talking about Menas and these 2 pictures he had sent. And basically the server was divided. About half the members believed this really was just Menas trolling, and the other half was starting to think that, hey guys, this might be real. He might actually be carrying out this 4-step plan. Those pictures might be real. And if that's the case, we have a huge problem. Because this plan, if he actually carries it out, is so completely illegal. He can't do this. This is not okay. And so the faction of members on the Discord server that were starting to sense that this 4-step plan of Menas's might actually be real began to talk internally, and they said, look, like, we can't just sit here and do nothing if Menas is actually doing this. We have to stop him. This is not okay. And so in fact, one of these members actually contacted their local police and told them, hey, there's this guy on my Discord server, his username is Menas, I don't have his actual name, but he's doing something that could be very bad, and you need to look into it. And so the dispatcher said, okay, well, where does Menas live? And the person who had called was like, well, I don't actually know. In fact, I really don't know much about him other than the fact that he goes by Menas and he sent these crazy pictures that could be real or not, I don't know. And so eventually the dispatcher just said, look, I get it that you're concerned, but we have nothing to go on here. And remember, this is the internet. People make stuff up all the time. And so pretty quickly after that, the police officer just hung up, and that was that.
What you think he planning?
I'm sitting here like, what's the plan? Because I have no clue. I'm like, they said it's something that...
So
is he building something?
So one thing I'll say is I know way prior than us even talking about creating a Discord, right? Mm-hmm. Honestly, I used to be like, nah, I want to create a Discord because of the things that they used to do on Discord. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times the things they used to do on Discord was sometimes they would talk about certain things or share certain images, and it would be very threatening things. And so you got to be very careful with those things because you might see somebody on there who's trying to plan something. So I'm thinking of some type of attack. You know what I'm saying? They say he was in college, right? So if I'm thinking possibility of that. School, a school related incident. Mm-hmm. That's where my mind is going. I don't know, but typically a lot of people who do plan on doing those type of attacks share images, share their plans, and let people know ahead of time that that's what they thinking about doing. It's like somebody always say, hey, I remember they put this here, or I got a word of this, because every time an attack like that happens, there's some type of form of communication where somebody said, yeah, I was told, or yeah, but nobody actually goes out and do anything. It's always, yeah, I knew about it prior. Mm-hmm. But why you didn't tell anyone? And in this situation, Discord was so new. I don't know, new, because I don't know how long Discord been around, but it's new as far as a lot of people don't understand it until now. A lot of people still don't know it now, I feel like. But I think then a lot of people really didn't know. And so you say, hey, I got somebody in my Discord. They're like, what is Discord? You explain to them, there's people always making threats and doing things on the internet that's not real. So, Mm-hmm. But hey, let's go ahead, get back.
And so pretty quickly after that, the police officer just hung up, and that was that. So at this point, Nicole and the other members of the Discord server who were starting to suspect that what Menas was doing could be real, at this point, they felt really alone. I mean, the local police was not taking this seriously, which did make sense. I mean, they had nothing to go on. But as a result, it was like nobody was doing anything about what Menas was claiming. And Nicole and the other members who, again, were beginning to sense this could be real, they felt terrible about just sitting here doing nothing. And so Nicole and a few other members of the Discord server decided to team up digitally and actually investigate Menas themselves. Try to figure out who this guy is and really what's he up to. And so Nicole and this new investigative group started by combing through all the chat logs in their Discord server to see if Menas at any point had either intentionally or unintentionally dropped hints about his real name and his location. And eventually they came across a message where Menas actually said his real first name was Menas. That wasn't just his username, that was his real name. Okay. And that was great because Menas was a pretty unique name. And so Nicole and the group thought, okay, well, if we find where in the world that name is somewhat common, maybe that will give us a rough idea of where to look for Menas in the world. They also knew that Menas was a college student, or at least he claimed to be. Now, he never actually said where he went to college, But he would often, in the Discord server, tell people when he was going to be on the server and when he was going to be off the server, like for classes and for studying and that kind of thing. He would say, okay, hey, I'll be on at 6 p.m. tonight, or I'll be off at 9, I'll be back on at 8. He would give these specific times, and he would always use Eastern Standard Time when he did that. And so a natural assumption that Nicole and her group made was, okay, very likely Menas lives in the Eastern Time Zone. And that time zone included the entire East Coast of the United States, Eastern and Central Canada, and also some countries in South and Central America. But while that was helpful, it still created too broad of an area in the world for this group to realistically look for Menas. It was nearly impossible to actually figure out where he was. But they now had a sense of where he could be, and they thought, okay, well, why don't we ask somebody else in the Discord server if they can try to track Menas's IP address? An IP address can be used to find the approximate geographical location of a computer. And sure enough, someone in the server said they could do that, and within a few minutes, they had tracked Menas's computer to Toronto, Canada. However, right at the same time they were figuring this out, Menas sent a third picture across the Discord server. A picture that showcased him completing step 3 of this 4-step plan, allegedly. And for Nicole and many other members of this Discord server, this third picture really represented a big shift, because now it was getting terrifying. Because look, it seems pretty likely at this point that Menas is actually doing this. This is real. How could he possibly have these hyper-specific photos that are perfectly synced with this 4-step plan he had come up with? This feels real. And so Nicole, she actually asked the person who had traced his IP address to Toronto, she said, hey, should we call the Toronto police and tell them what's going on here? You know, maybe they can go find him and stop him before he completes this plan. I mean, he's apparently completed 3 steps. There's only 1 step left. We have to stop him here. But the person who had tracked his IP address to Toronto said, look, what are the police gonna do? There's 6 million people that live in Toronto, and all we have is that maybe his computer is in Toronto and maybe these pictures are real. And also, by the way, it's pretty easy to mask your IP address. You can use something called a VPN, or virtual private network, that when you track someone's IP address that has one of those working, it will make it seem like their address is, for example, in Toronto or Chicago or New York or Dallas or anywhere in the world, when in reality, their computer is somewhere totally different. And so the police are not going to launch a manhunt based on an IP address. It's not 100% accurate. And so basically, Nicole realized that even though they saw they are on the precipice, potentially, of Menas committing some horrible crime, and they can't do anything about it because they don't really have any information about Menas. And so at this point, everybody on the Discord server was basically begging Menas to come clean. Tell us these photos are fake. Tell us this plan of yours is really just you trolling. But Menas didn't do that. He doubled down and said, oh no, these are all real. And in fact, I'm going to complete step 4 of this plan and complete the whole process in 30 minutes. And after that, all Nicole and the other members of the Discord...
That's enough time to have tried to at least give her a call. I would have still personally call.
Yeah, I'm like, forget what you're saying. At least I know that I did all
I did my part.
You know what I'm saying?
And tried.
That's
all you can do at the end of the day.
Process in 30 minutes. And after that, all Nicole and the other members of the Discord server could do was just try to convince Menas not to do this. Don't follow through with this. Don't complete the plan. You gotta stop. It's not worth it. But Menas refused and said, I'm doing this no matter what. And sure enough, 30 minutes later, Menas would send one final picture, the 4th picture, showcasing that his 4-step plan was now complete. At this point, someone from the Discord server did call the Toronto police. The following day, at about 3:30 p.m., police officers arrived outside of Menas's home, which it would turn out was located in a small town just north of Toronto. The IP address had been correct.
Oh, okay.
By this point, it had now been about 24 hours since Menas had sent the very first picture of his 4-step plan. Police knocked on the front door, having no idea what to expect here. They had seen the images Menas had sent on the Discord server, but at this point, until they went inside, they had no idea if they were dealing with a terrible crime or a terrible joke. When the door opened, Menas himself was standing in the doorway. He had a totally neutral, very calm expression on his face. He was very gracious. He welcomed the police inside. And when they stepped inside, they asked him, what's going on here? And all Menas said was, "You'll see." So the police walked further into the home and eventually made their way upstairs. And when they got up there, they just froze. Because it would turn out Menas was not trolling. Those pictures were not fake. He really had carried out that 4-step plan. It would turn out, for the past 4 years, Menas had been living a double life. To his friends and family, he was a college student studying engineering.
Hold on.
Hold on. That got me already. All right, my bad.
Menas had been living a double life. To his friends and family, he was a college student studying engineering, and he was on a path to great success. When in reality, he dropped out of college in his first year and just pretended to go to school every day, when in reality, he would just go to a local mall and hang out there. And then in the evenings, when school was over and he would come back home, he would just immerse himself in video games, specifically that Perfect World game. That's what he did. He just went to the mall and played video games and lied to his friends and family. But July 27th, 2019, the day Menas put his 4-step plan into action, was literally the last day he could maintain this ruse. Because the next day, July 28th, 2019, was the day Menas was scheduled to graduate from his college. So his friends and family were all expecting to be there and to see this amazing ceremony. Wow. And so to deal with the fact that his real life and his fake life were about to collide, Menas came up with his 4-step plan. And he literally told the members of the Discord server about his big plan, but nobody believed him because he was always trolling people. It just seemed like, oh, this is made up. Another one of Menas's lies. But he was not lying. It was all true. Those pictures that he sent across were absolutely authentic. He took those pictures, and they did represent completing each step in the plan. The first picture was of his mother, the second picture was of his grandmother, the third picture was of his sister, and the fourth picture was of his father. And
each picture shows that he done took that.
That's crazy. That's all because you took...
Hold on. I don't want to... Hold on.
Okay.
But 9 times, I already know that's what happened.
His grandmother, the third picture was of his sister, and the fourth picture was of his father. And in each picture, those people were dead. Because Menas had spent the day methodically killing his entire family to prevent them finding out about his lie. He hit them over the head with a crowbar and then slit their throats and took a picture, posted it to Discord. By the time someone from Discord finally got in touch with the Toronto police, it was too late. Menas...
Jeez.
No, I killed mom and granny so far away from my sister.
In 5 minutes.
And then because they were all coming to the house
in 1 hour.
So mom and granny was already there
at the house.
So he was able to get them.
Sister comes in from wherever school.
Or granny was there, then mom came, then sister came, then dad came. Because I remember after the second photo, they was like, "Is this real?" He was like, "Yeah."
Someone from Discord finally got in touch with the Toronto police. It was too late.
That was so late.
Wish you talked it out before doing it. It's been my plan for 3 years. Literally told my parents my uni graduation was July 28th. I couldn't have delayed it any longer.
Menas had obliterated his entire family. Menas ultimately pleaded guilty to 4 counts of murder and was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 40 years.
I was just slaughtered my entire family. What kind of...
Thank you so much.
Because you're too coward to be like, hey guys, I dropped out of school.
Did you? And you dropped out. You didn't flunk out. You dropped out.
I dropped out of school. It's not what I want. It's not what I wanted to do. Maybe I'll find something else to do.
Like I always say, culturally, things are different.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of people in different cultures can't have that. A lot of people in those different cultures can't have those conversations with those. I'm tired.
Well, we need. No. I get you, but if I can't have a conversation, this is not a result. Like this is not something that should be taking place.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily. I'm not saying.
I know you're not. I know what you're saying. I get you. No, I get you. But I'm just saying, like that's messed up. You take out your whole family because you can't have the conversation to be like, hey, college is not for me. I just don't want to do college. Like, I definitely get what you're saying. I understand culturally things are different.
Things are different. Man, you know how hard they be on their kids when it comes down to education and schooling and all that. They be on them kids too. Now I get it because you want your kids to, you know what I'm saying, you want the best for your kids and all. and so you be like real super. But sometimes, like college ain't for everybody, bro. And sometimes if they feel like it's not a goal of mine. But again, man, that's different cultures, bro. I'm not part of that culture to really understand. But it's from generation to generation to generation. And honestly, the kids of those families complain about it. But when they start having kids, they keep passing down those traditions. The whole family? That's wild, bro.
Oh, it's our family.
So so you telling me you plan on doing this for 3 years? You was like, oh, when it comes down to time for me to graduate, I'm gonna take all. Bro, bro, you could have ran away or did something. You had too many plethoras opportunities to do something else, or you could literally, like you did say, come clean and say, hey, I couldn't do school. You know what it really give? Laziness. You didn't go get a job. You didn't. Only thing you wanted to do was go hang out the mall, play video games, and come home play video games. Pure laziness.
Because you literally wasn't doing anything. Your parents think that you're in school this entire time.
They taking
that
care of you.
That you just been in school, doing your 4 years. You dropped out the first year. After the first year. 3 years.
And then try to do nothing with your life.
3 years. You have just been like...
Bro, you going to the mall every freaking day? Can't be. Going to the arcades or going somewhere else? You can't go fake kick it on campus? You know how many people go fake kick it on campus?
Nothing.
You can't go get a part-time job or nothing? You that damn lazy with your life.
That's what I'm saying. At least you could have been like, hey, I'm going to try to... Well, maybe that's the thing, too. They just want him to focus on school and not work. Don't know.
True.
Again, yeah. So...
That's
sad. That's so sad because it's like you said. He said, "I've been planning this for 3 years." Like at some point, I'm like, "Wait a minute, snap out! I can't do that. That's my family. That's my dad. That's my mom. That's my grandma. That's my sister."
Everybody don't think the same way though.
Yeah, true. They don't. But
because you don't think about, you know what I'm saying, take a life, do you?
No, I'm just playing. No,
you probably do. Knowing you,
I have never thought about taking a life. That is not me.
But that's what it was though. Pure laziness. Your laziness cost me my life.
Facts, and that's the best way to put it. Yep.
Hey man, because he was supposed to go to school to be an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
You could have created a YouTube channel and did something and start making some money in 3 years. Especially then, dog. Because you was already into all this stuff. In 2019, you could have been, that whole time.
You was gaming.
You could have been. Like, so basically, by the time, because you would have went to school, because it's a 4-year university, right? So you would have went to school in 2015. You was already hip to social media as far as like Twitch, Discord servers and all that. So by the time you dropped out, would have been 2016. From 2016 to 2019, by the time 2019 come around, you could have been making a good plethora of money where you could have been like, told your parents, hey, this pays more than what my education will pay. And
just maybe, you never know. Like, they probably
but also
understanding.
He a sick individual anyway, because he always was getting banned out the Discord for making unnecessary remarks towards people.
True.
So they already showed you his mindset, and
it's just so effed already.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sad, bro. But hey, man, y'all spam us up in the comments. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and C.
We are.
Ain't no time to kick it, gotta stack a flip for my folks. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar.